Good evening, fellow Blues. Manchester City welcome Fulham to the Etihad Stadium tomorrow. Stephen here to talk about that game and preview it because it should be a fun game of football. It feels weirdly like it's been quite a few days since the last game, which is crazy. It feels like these days everything is just right on top of you immediately. But I think it was the Tuesday game, the fact that it was a bit of a stroll. I'm ready for a game of football. Unfortunately, there won't be a watch long tomorrow. I'm actually in London, ironically, given Fulham are from there. I won't be at Craven Cottage. I'm just visiting some friends over the weekend, so me and Nicola and the little man Ruben are staying in a hotel tomorrow, so I won't be doing a watch along tomorrow. I'm going to try and get to London in time to watch the game, which is optimistic, but we'll see. Because I've got a nearly 2-year-old, and that takes a long time. You have to stop and stop and stop and stop. So we'll try. I'll try and get there to watch the game, then do a match reaction in the hotel afterwards. But there'll be no watch along, unfortunately. So I say that right now because it's visiting my old bandmates. You remember I was in a band, Embers? Yeah. I've mentioned it before. I'm seeing them tomorrow because I've not seen them for an awful long time, so I can't wait to see that. But anyway, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video very quickly before I get into it. Do you want to win this? A signed and framed dual Manchester City shirt combo. Jeremy Doku and Phil Foden. Look at that. One of a kind prize. There's a discount going on today as well to enter. You could win that. 299 tickets available, only 62 sold so far. You've got 4 days left to enter, which is a pretty special prize. That Imagine that on your wall, by the way. Phil Foden and Doku signed. And there's also potentially as well a Savinho shirt up available if you get the ticket 111, which is available. So yeah, very cool. Head to the link in the description if you want to win that. Fingers crossed when you guys do win, because it's a hell of a prize and it's really cool. And I want a City fan who watches Esteemed Kompany to win that incredible once in a lifetime kind of prize. Phil Foden signed shirt, Doku signed shirt, the trickiest winger and the best player in the league last season. Available up for grabs. All you got to do is enter. Fingers crossed when you guys win. 18 plus UK base to enter. So yeah, this game of football, let me bring the categories up at the bottom as always. Where are they at? There we go. We'll start, of course, with the overview of this game. City versus Fulham off the back of a couple of draws. Arsenal and Newcastle. I still maintain the Newcastle game was not a disaster, and the Arsenal one was just a weird game. And yeah, the Rodri injury, everything about it was just a bit awkward. But we're still in a good position. We're still in a very good position as we stand, you know. Things look pretty good for Man City. We are still unbeaten. We are on an incredible unbeaten streak in the Premier League in general. I just saw that we've matched United's Champions League unbeaten streak as well. Look, we are 1 point off the top of the table. Life is very good. And I know we've got no Rodri. And I know we've had a couple of draws recently. But it is worth bearing in mind that this is still in the ascent stages of the season. We are 6 games in. There are 32 more games. That's an awful lot of points. You know? We could lose the next 6 and then win the next 20... What's the maths? 26 in a row after that and win the league. It's crazy what we could do, basically. We won't do that. That's mental. But there's loads and loads and loads of football left to play. And I think we're in a good position with players sort of getting their form back. Of course, it is still this post-Rodri world that we are living in. You would think, on paper, Fulham at home is the kind of game where you should be able to get something. But Fulham are a good side right now. Fulham are currently sat in 6th, I think, as it currently stands. 3 wins from their first 6 games, just the 1 loss. So we've got to take them really seriously. I'm sure we will do. It is, of course, the precursor to the international break as well. I can't stand the international break. I never can do. But it's always good to go into the international break with a victory if we can get there. Fingers crossed we can. This game does feel important. I'll go to the press conference quotes from Guardiola. There wasn't a lot coming out of it that was that spicy, really. They talked about the banner that we 1894 and 9320 helped organise. He joked about he should pay for it. I'll pay for the banner. I don't want him to spend the money, blah, blah, blah. He talks about how much he loves this club, how it's deep inside of his bones. And the best way to defend the club is winning games. And he talked about trusting the chairman, the CEO, and all that lot again. He said, I'm part of this club. I'm not just a manager. So basically, Guardiola loves it. But then he did say he won't talk about his future yet. Make of that what you will. But I love Guardiola talking about how much he loves the fans, how much he loves the club, and all this kind of stuff. He talked about Fulham. He didn't really say much. He didn't really say too much, if I'm being honest. He talked about the Club World Cup as well. Look, if I'm honest, it was not really a fruitful conversation in terms of the press conference, from the quotes that I've seen anyway. Let's go on to the actual team news. Bring that up on screen right now. The team news, Guardiola talked about the injuries again. He said, unfortunately, for De Bruyne, he said for tomorrow he's not ready. He can go with Belgium when he didn't play one game. How can he go with Belgium? Sorry. I never understood that. But anyway, he cannot play with us. He cannot play with Belgium. He didn't say to me about his future or anything like that. Yeah, he said, I don't know when he's going to retire. He's just injured. He's not available. Yeah, so De Bruyne is not available. He's not travelling with the international team. And I'm with Guardiola on that. When the players are clearly injured and they're not playing for their club, the international teams go, come and join us anyway, and go over there. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, they should stay at home if the club has said they're injured and they're not playing. Just trust them. Don't put this unnecessary stress on them. But De Bruyne basically went to the manager and said, I don't want to be involved because I need to get fit, which was a good thing to do. Guardiola also said, except Nathan Ake, Kevin De Bruyne, and of course Rodri and Oscar, the rest are fine. So everyone else is available other than those four, which are very big players, by the way. I had a moment midweek where I tweeted how I miss Nathan Ake, and I still do. And Nathan Ake is a brilliant footballer. The ingenuity that Oscar Bob would bring, the brilliance of De Bruyne and Rodri. Look, one of the best defenders in the league, probably the two best midfielders, and a potential superstar in Oscar Bob not available. It's not ideal, That's like a 50-year squad right there. It's a lot. It's substantial minutes there, not on the pitch and not available. But other than that, we have pretty much got a strong bunch of players available. So let's go on to the predicted 11. How did City get on last time? I can't even remember the team, how we lined up the other day. Man City results. Again, we did obviously make changes against Slovan Bratislava. We played a midfield of Gundogan, Foden, Nunes, Doku, Savio, and Haaland. Of Akanji, Stones, Lewis, and Vardial. I'm expecting some changes there. I think immediately you're going to see Ederson come back into goal. That makes sense. He's going to. Vardial will get another start here as well. Vardial will start this game because it's international break. I think he'll play Diaz. I think he'll play Akanji. I think it'll be Rico Lewis, because I think Rico Lewis was phenomenal the other day. Could be Kyle, but I think it's going to be Rico Lewis. I think it should be Rico Lewis. I think the given here are Haaland. I do feel, let me get the formation right. Let me get it right for you. I think it'll be something like that. I think Phil Foden's going to start this one. I'm going to put Phil Foden here. I think Foden will start. I think Grealish gets a start because he's been in really good form. And I think Savinho starts on the right. I don't think Doku did much wrong the other day. I thought he was actually really good. But I think in general, he's probably going to get a start here. And I think Gundogan wasn't great the other day. So I think we're going to see a return to... It wasn't great against Newcastle. Better against Slovan Bratislava. But I think given that Kovacic and Silva rested, I think it's going to be this Silva Kovacic like the start of the season with Foden ahead of them. So I reckon it's going to be that, basically. I think that's a pretty strong side. You could see, of course, Gundogan start, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a rest. I think Foden will get his start. He deserves it. I think Bernardo and Kovacic will come back into the team because they were rested the other day. Kyle Walker could be the other start, but to me, this feels a pretty obvious choice to go for this team. You could see John Stones play again, but I think Akanji will come back in after his... Diaz will come back in after his rest. I think Akanji will get the game... Vardiol is obviously going to play. And I think Rico Lewis was so good the other day that you can't not play him. Look, when we've got the ball, I think it'll be this again. Vardiol was sort of playing up here the other day, wasn't he? It was really weird, like a quasi sort of forward stroke left back. It was mental. I do think Rico Lewis will be doing his usual thing of being everywhere and anywhere. Some mental formation. See, it'll be sort of like this, and it'll be wild, and Kovacic will be covering. It's some stupid formation, but it sort of picks itself, I would argue. Yeah, it'll be something like that, I reckon. And it's going to be a good side. It's going to be a good side. As for Fulham, let's talk about Fulham a little bit. They're a really good side, Fulham. They're currently sat, as you see here, 6th in the Premier League. Yeah, they're having a good time, Fulham, and they'll be buzzing. Life for them is it's good, man. It's good. They're currently sat 6th. I'll get their current results up. Let's have a look at their matches for Fulham. So they started out the season with a loss against United. Imagine being them right now. It's embarrassing, Fulham. How dare you? I've lost the games there, sorry. Bring the games back, Stephen. You've lost them. Yeah, they lost against United. Oh, I'm on about this previous season there, sorry. Let me find it again. I've got confused. Lost against United. Then they beat Leicester 2-1. They did go through to the Carabao Cup third round. They drew 1-1 away at Ipswich Town, which is not that embarrassing. They are a new team full of energy and so on. They also drew against West Ham. But after that, they've had some really good results. They beat Newcastle at home 3-1. They went out on penalties, by the way, to Preston 16-5, which is mental. And they beat Forest 1-0 away, which they're really good results for Fulham, you know. They should be really happy with their start of the season. Look, Marco Silva's done a really good job there. He's a very talented manager, of course. Well, this is how they lined up away against Forest, which is a reasonably good sort of indication. Let me just double check their team news. I don't know who they've got available and who've not. I'll bring it up right now. So as for Fulham, I think they're missing a few potentially. I think it's only really Carlos Vinicius and Jorge Cuenco's unavailable. So they've got pretty much their strongest side. They could be tempted to recall Harrison Reed or Sander Berg, but this formation the other day worked for them quite nicely. Of course, they've got so much experience there, man. Anderson is excellent for them. He's brilliant. Anthony Robertson's a really good fullback. So much pace and energy. He's having a really good season as well. Lukic and Pereira is balanced midfield. Smith Rowe is an inspired signing. Look, if City have got a weakness, it's probably on the counter-attack, and Iwobi and Adama, with that pace they've got, they are very, very, very effective players. Look, Adama in particular, you know, we know his goals, and look, that man up top, Raul Jimenez, was there as well when Adama was scoring against us for Wolves. So those two know how to play against Man City. Yeah, in general, they're a really experienced side, and they've got some decent players on the bench as well. Reece Nelson, Sander Berg, Rodrigo Muniz, Harrison Reed, Issa Diop, Timothy Castagna. Look, they've got a good side, man. They're a good side, and Marco Silva's doing a really good job. So you've got to take them seriously. They could get at us. As for the Newcastle game, when they played them, I'll bring up there how they played there again. 1 second, let me go back to it. Why does it scroll so far back when you click backwards? Silly computer. This is how they lined up against Newcastle, and they deserve that win for what I can tell. Reece Nelson getting a goal, Raul Jimenez, Smith Rowe. Yeah, the same midfield three there, Pereira, Lukic. I mean, that forward, it's pretty much... Yeah, I think that's the exact same lineup there. Look, they've got a set lineup, and they're going to play the same again. And we've got to take them seriously. They'll try and get down the pitch with fast transitions with the attacking wingers and attacking fullbacks. Anthony Robertson never stops running. Tete's a really smart player as well. Yeah, they're just a good side that we've got to take seriously. Someone mentioned Pogba in the chat. Mate, no chance. Pogba is not going to be anywhere near serious again. I know he's back available apparently as of March, but yeah, no chance. In terms of my predictions, look, it's only a short video because it is Friday night, so I'm not going on forever tonight. I think City are going to win this tomorrow, and Devious Ducky says Foden must score a hat-trick. He must do. Devious, that's very, very high expectation of you, mate. I'll take a Foden goal tomorrow, mate. That'll do. But yeah, they've got a lot of qualities, and they will threaten, as Andrew said in the chat. I do feel the intelligence of Rico Lewis getting forward, offering so much to the chat. Phil Foden finding his goal-scoring form. Haaland, looking to go out of international break with a bang. Kovacic and Bernardo rested. I think we've got more than enough here, and I think we're going to win this pretty comfortably. I'm going to say a 4-1 Man City win, which sounds a lot, and I know Fulham are good, but I feel like they'll have a moment, but we'll pull away from them because I think we'll be up for it. I think Savinho's going to get his first goal. There we go. There's my big shout. I can see Rico Lewis scoring as well, actually. And then probably be Foden and Haaland getting goals too. So I've gone for 4 separate scorers there, but I've got a good feeling about this game. I'm confident, and I'm hopeful. Guys, anyway, just a quick one because obviously it's Friday night. I want to go and put the little guy to bed with Nicola. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, there'll be no watch along tomorrow, sadly, because unfortunately, I'm in London tomorrow. Unfortunately, in London, seeing some old friends. But I'll obviously try and do a match reaction. Probably drop a 5 Things Learned Sunday morning as well. For now, though, check out this prize, which is available over at Football Prizes in the link in the description below. Signed Doku and Foden shirts. That could be amazing. Good job. Good luck that one of you guys win it. In a bit, good night. Have a wonderful weekend. Come on, you Blues.